Hi, and welcome back to Market in Darkness. Here, I'm Darian Wigfall. Got Jelani Buchanan with us.
What up?
We have a very special guest today. This is the far-fetched intern, Kristen.
How y'all doing?
She's a student at Webster. Can you tell them a little bit about what you're studying at Webster?
Yes, I'm studying speech communications with a minor in philosophy, and I plan on going into broadcasting or anything with acting with that degree.
Yeah, so she's interning with us, just doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes things, but she's a big part of our marketing, and I thought that it would be interesting to get her in on the conversation today as we continue our conversation about Dotcom Secrets and Section 2.
Absolutely. So, Section 2, it's a dense section. It's really awesome because it starts to get really into the funnels and the value ladder. So it talks about how it mentions that funnels and value ladders are similar but not the same. So it kind of goes into how you can actually apply funnels to each part of your value ladder. And it really goes into the details because in each step of the value ladder has different goals. You'll see different types of funnels and scripts to achieve each goal in the part of the ladder. So if you were with us before, you understand that a 4-part ladder pretty much consists of, your lead. Mm-hmm. On that, you're essentially after that you get the introduction in there. You usually have either your product. He used an example of a chiropractor, which one of their products that the only product that they offered before getting help from Russell was just the typical adjustment. But what Russell suggested to fill in the other parts of the chiropractor's ladder was to offer maybe a free massage or, a limited massage to get people in the door. And then once they're in the door and get that massage, then the chiropractor can go up to the product on the ladder where it's the adjustment. So, and then after that, Russell also gave him ideas on how to put things above that in the ladder. So for each one of those things, we're going to get into how you can make a funnel for all of those.
So essentially that's interesting that it uses a chiropractor in yours, and mine it's a dentist. So you can barely see that. If you get the book, you'll be able to see that. But the value ladder is literally just a ladder, step by step, going up from probably a lead generating product to your core offer to something that's a little bit higher ticket. Higher priced, and going on up until you get to the maximum cost of a product that you possibly have.
Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, so in Section 2, they start off by going with the funnel that they give us in here, or the ladder that they give, is the 4 parts of it are the lead funnels, the unboxing funnels, the presentation funnels, and the phone funnels. And what it does is it tells you under each one of those what steps of the funnels that the user goes through. So essentially for the front end funnels, it talks about the 3 best lead funnels we've used for Russell. I should say the 3 best leads Russell's used are lead, squeeze, survey, and summit funnels. So the lead squeeze would be a squeeze page. If you're unfamiliar, a squeeze page is essentially a web page on a website that essentially squeezes out your email. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of coined as a squeeze page, but it's just where you essentially register your email so that you can get information. And then besides that, the survey suggestion was, pretty much pose a survey to your customer of what type of product they might need, but you essentially vet them by having them answer very short questions about what their preferences are. And then as they go through that, they actually get different results, but they essentially go to the same squeeze page at the end, but it's tailored to them specifically with the survey. And then of course the summit funnels are pretty much ideas of you haven't used our product yet, but there's a lot of people out there that know what our product's about, and those people found out about it by essentially going to a webinar or going to an event. So those are the 3 funnels that they go through on the front end in section 2 to start.
So yeah, what Jelani is talking about in the newer version of Dotcom Secrets is secret number 8, secret number 9, and secret number 10. Lead squeeze funnel is called that because essentially it is squeezing you for information. They're going to offer you something that you can't resist. It's an irresistible offer, and then they're going to ask you for your email. And then still on the front end, we want to use surveys. So we're asking within our niche or our sub niche questions to say it's our niche is gardening. We're going to ask questions to our customers like, well, you've used our shovel. Do you also need a rake? Do you need a hose? Do you need seeds? Do you need soil? What are the products that you need to get your garden going? And that survey in itself will, number one, give you some vital information about your customers, but it'll also give you information about what products you might want to offer or partner with another company to offer in conjunction with your either lead offer or your core offer. And then on secret number 10, the summit funnel is the old school summit. It's when you invite everybody to an event. Right now, during COVID, obviously, it's probably going to be online. But back in the day, people would rent a ballroom in a hotel, and they would have an event where either just they present or they might even have a number of other entrepreneurs present and then lead up to themselves as the closer for that event. And they're ultimately trying to sell you a product that they made. Typically, it's going to be an info product because it's something that you can buy right there and either get online or get shipped to you later. But it might also be a product like a vacuum cleaner or something like that. But basically, the idea is to get a bunch of people in the same room and try to sell them the product. Because sales is a numbers game, you're really trying to go for large volume in order to make even just a few sales.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just wanted to pose the question to Kristen. Have you ever, experienced online where, you buy something and then soon after you'd be marketed that thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, have any of those products caused you to buy them?
Actually, not really. Yeah. I'll look into it, but... No, I won't ever buy it now that I think about it.
Sure. So real quick, I also found myself in this position because I was a person that was like, okay, well, honestly, I have little faith in a lot of, a lot of sites online that ask me for my information, right? Mm-hmm. So eventually I started shopping Amazon, and Amazon's really good about this because anybody that's used Amazon has definitely received marketing to them after they've made any purchase in their email. So I've noticed that the strongest versions of that that I've kind of fallen into for funnels have been right after I buy stuff on Amazon, I'll get emails as to people also bought this, right? Mm-hmm. So essentially that...
They even do it on the website while you're making a purchase.
They do. Yeah. They do. So there's 2 versions of it that I've experienced. The one right on the site and the ones that are in my email, because I will buy... I usually go to Amazon specifically for what I need, and then I'm out, right? So then after that, I'll get a bunch of emails that are like, hey, you probably... not even something that is unrelated, but it's typically something that's directly related to something I've looked at but didn't buy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's...
Empty cart.
Yeah, empty cart. Exactly. Yeah. So there's different versions of it, and the most prominent version I've seen recently has been for video camera stuff. So I have recently... buffed up my video editing software and stuff. But besides that, I needed a stabilizer, and I kept seeing this commercial about a stabilizer on YouTube and Instagram constantly. Yep. And I'm like, neat. I could use one of these, but it looks kind of like crap. Like it kind of looks like low quality. Yeah. So what I do these days, and it's kind of a hack for me for not trusting people with my information, but
Listen closely.
I take the name of the product, and then I look at it on Amazon and see if they have it.
That's real.
And then once I see, actually, I can buy you in the bus sometimes because sometimes the product's not as good, but it does the same thing. So that's just a little tidbit about that.
That's interesting. That kind of brought up a point for me, Kristen, is like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what's the last thing, let's say, what's the last consumer product you bought?
Cat toys.
Okay.
For my kitten.
How did you, nice. That's what's up. How did you come to making that purchase? Did you find the product yourself? Were you marketed to? Or?
Actually, it was because I was on PetSmart.
Okay.
And PetSmart is a little spendy when you go in there. And so I was kind of like, let me price check before I buy something from there. And so I went to Amazon. And then pretty much, actually, in a weird way, they were targeting to me the same things PetSmart was targeting. So that's that thing where I'm kind of like, who's looking into my stuff?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I did a price check. And then Amazon, once again, gave me more choices. You recently bought this. Options. Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Word up. So that is sort of an example of a sales funnel. Kristen entered a sales funnel at PetSmart. It spit her out. And then she entered Amazon's sales funnel in a different way because at some point Amazon has told you they're available. Obviously, a lot of people shop from that, so you may have heard of it word of mouth, but at some point you became aware that Amazon was a thing, and it interested you because you could get what you needed from there. And then when you went there, you had the desire to actually get the thing that you wanted, and then you took an action to make a purchase. So essentially, that is what a sales funnel is. A lot of times you may be marketed to on your social media and things like that to get you into the funnel, but a lot of times you opt in yourself because you know you need something. It's interesting, and we'll get into this way later, but I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of game on how that works.
Okay.
So there's two things that people use to track you, Google Tag Manager and Facebook Pixel. So basically what those are a tiny little bit of code that you put into your ad online. Say I make an ad on Facebook. Especially now, I can put the Google Tag Manager code in there and the Facebook Pixel because Facebook has its own tracking device, and so the Pixel is literally just a 1 pixel image on a page, and it follows you from you going from my page to getting off of my page. And if you come back, it knows when you came back on and knows how much time you spent on there. Google Tag Manager will also track this data. And then what you can do is get into Google's display network, which is the banners that you see at the top of the websites that you go to, or the banners that you see on the sides of the websites you go to. And then that pixel will follow you from website to website and say, I looked at Dotcom Secrets on dotcomsecrets.com. The Pixel and the Google Tag Manager will then, if I go to Amazon, now there's a billboard on my Amazon that says, hey, there's a 50% discount on this book, Dotcom Secrets. Did you know that? And so these companies are able to use code to track you across the internet, especially when you come across their content. But then also if you have it set up with Google Display Network, that will follow you from website to website to website and continue to market to you over and over and over again. And these are tools that are available to us too, but that's just a little bit of game on how they track you. And that's why it follows you like that.
And that's legal?
It's legal.
I'm looking over here like, is that legal?
Yeah. I mean, Facebook has gotten in a little bit of trouble for giving out people's information and stuff like that, but for the most part, somebody's doing it.
It's essentially
somebody's already tracking you.
Yeah, somehow or another. And there is a fascinating show I want to check out on Netflix that's about that type of stuff.
Okay.
In fact, it's a bunch of people. You may have seen ads for it, but it's a bunch of people who have worked for Google, Facebook, stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah, I want to see that really bad.
Okay, I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah, definitely gotta check it out. So, pretty much, we were just discussing the beginning of the lead funnels, the way that Russell explained it with the essentially lead squeeze funnel, survey funnel, summit funnel. And essentially after that, we would get into the next part of what they explain in the book on, the next section of the unboxing funnels and things.
Yeah, because once somebody has gotten your lead magnet, they're probably going to go to the next step in your value ladder. Typically, a lead magnet is going to be like a free guide or something that provides a little bit of value for free so that it gets your appetite wet for the next thing. And typically, the second step in the value ladder is the core offer.
Exactly. So say you did see that ad and you went to click it. Now, a lot of the times, if the folks are smart that are advertising to you, they will put a squeeze page right after you click it. That way, they get your information for your email. They can send the deals directly to your email, and that traffic they will own instead of getting you through Facebook or Instagram. So once you get to the next rung of the ladder, it's essentially the unboxing funnels. And now this is when you may have said, okay, I do want a free version of whatever it is, or I do want whatever that information product is. Then they send it to you, and then you unbox it. And once you unbox it, you're on the second rung of the ladder, but you're about to go into another funnel, right? So as soon as you do, the three best unboxing funnels that Russell has found that work really well are the cart, book, and challenge funnels. Okay, so we're going to get into those three next.
So yeah, the book funnel is what we use to get this book. It's as simple as that. You have a book that you want to sell. You may even sell it at a discount. So you use something to get the lead initially. Like I said, a free guide or maybe even a video or a free webinar. And then that makes you want more information, hopefully, if that's your niche. And then you'll probably want to get a book that talks about it in greater detail and in more comprehensive way.
Agreed. So Kristen, has there ever been a time where you ordered any type of product and right after you got it, there was stuff inside that like tried to give you other information? Not necessarily unrelated, but just more info, you know?
Yeah, like maybe 2 or 3 pieces of paper, long list of just like catalogs of things. Yeah, I've done that.
So that's essentially the similar concept, because whenever I got my books, June or July, I forget what it was, but as soon as I got the books, it was essentially information in there as if I got one book, but I got all 3. So it was stuff telling me that there was a trilogy. There was stuff telling me that there's if I'm into this, there's definitely more for me. So that's kind of the stuff we're going to get into with the unboxing funnels.
And there's a funnel that you swirl around that is just related to books, especially this one because there is a trilogy and another set of books that Russell's written. You could maybe spend a lot of time on that second rung of the value ladder. The next secret, that was secret number 11, book funnels. Secret number 12 is about cart funnels, and that's essentially what you were talking about with Amazon. So you go to a website and you look around at a few things, but you don't buy anything. And because you probably have already entered your email or maybe you have an account with them, they follow up with you and say, hey, we noticed that you looked at this thing, but you didn't buy it. Would you like to? Maybe even here's a discount. You know, is that essentially what it's saying in the book? Oh yeah.
In fact, that's what I'm glad you made that segue, because cart funnels are pretty strong, especially in if you've already passed the squeeze page. I still to this day have, especially when COVID first struck, and a lot of the photo and video products went up in price. There was a couple sites selling them for the same price as they were before the spike. But what they would do is they would be out of stock. So for me, that was the only time I've ever been like, I am so glad that there's a reminder that there's something in my cart, because what they do is they tell you when it's back in stock. So that you can go back and buy it. So that's been the most practical use I've ever seen for a cart funnel.
Right, for sure. And then secret number 13 is challenge funnels. So I recently went through the One Funnel Away challenge, and basically it's saying 30 days to be your best marketer and your best marketing self. And so one, it's a challenge to anybody that's already kind of in the niche or in your sub niche, and they've probably either read the books, they've gone to a summit, they've bought something in a cart on your website, something to say that I want to go further than just reading the information, and this will challenge them to build. So Dotcom Secrets talks about building an online sales funnel. This challenge is going to challenge you to actually build it out, not just read about it, not just have that knowledge in your mind, but we're actually going to get online and build a sales funnel, whether that's through ClickFunnels, which is the proprietary software that Russell Brunson started, or personally, I coach people in a way to make it for free, because there's other ways to get around having a one-stop shop piece of software to do this. You can use it with a dedicated email, YouTube channel, and really that's all you need at the end of the day. You do need to be able to make and create content, so you'll need a camera, but with smartphones these days, you can just use that. And Russell even says in the book Traffic Secrets that a majority of the videos that he shoots are still on his iPhone.
Wow. That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
So Kristen, have you ever come to a point where you have social media? I'm assuming you do.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So has there ever been either an event or something that you wanted to let people know about through your social media specifically? Like, oh, this just happened, and then you post about it, right? So what did you shoot it on?
Instagram, mainly my Instagram story.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you probably use your phone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1-to-1. So essentially, this gives you the opportunity to put yourself in a position where you're like, okay, if it's difficult for you to conceptualize a challenge for folks, usually it can be something that you endorse. So a lot of the times what I do these days is, if I want to actually let people know about something, I have to go further than just telling them about it, because, obviously there's only so far you can go, especially if people don't know about what you are talking about. But the ease of access is also something that helps us get information out a bit easier these days too. So you don't want to overthink it, but also, you want to consider what your message is, especially on your challenge. If you're challenging someone to do something, you want to give it a little bit more thought than just, oh, this worked for me, this can work for you. It's like, give them a bridge to where they can go, okay, it's a little bit easier than just, having the idea already. Like, you already have your product and it speaks for itself. You're just there to kind of be the attractive character that draws your audience in there.
That draws them from pain point to getting the benefit of the product.
Precisely, yeah.
And we just ran up on 22 minutes on the recorder, so I don't know.
That's a good idea. What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the next section of section 2, the next part of section 2.
Presentation funnels.